Hey John, Oceana here with G3 Agency. This is that free video that I promised to send over about how to get yourself in front of people searching for your services on Google. I'm going to show you one method that you do not need a website for and one method where you do need a website. And my goal with this is to educate you so that you have the power to be able to go out and get these things done yourself, or you could even send this off to another agency to do this stuff if you'd like. I really want you to be able to take this info and run with it and be successful. That's my main goal. My secondary goal, of course, is that every once in a while when I make these videos, somebody will come back to me and say, hey, can you help me with this? And then we set up a meeting and talk about your business goals and maybe see if there's anything that my agency can do to help you reach those goals. But that's a secondary goal. My main thing is just to give you the power. And if there's one thing that I got in return for this video, I would love some feedback from you on whether, just little things like, if I talk too fast or if there's anything that you wish I had gone into more detail or less detail about, just let me know how I did would be great. So let's jump right in. So the first thing I want to show you is this is a tool that I use to get an idea of well, it does a couple of things for me. So first of all, I've got this list of keywords that people are actually typing into Google when they're looking for your services. So I looked up anything that really had to do with carpets in Detroit. And so we got like carpet cleaners, Detroit, for example. That's something someone would type into Google when they're looking for a carpet cleaner in that area. And then right here, this column shows me how many times a month on average that exact phrase is being searched. And then this keyword difficulty phrase column, pardon, this shows me how difficult it would be, approximately, how difficult it would be to show up for on the first page of Google for that word. And a 4 it's out of 100. A 4 is very low, and that's a good thing. This means it's not going to take a whole lot of time or effort to show up there at the first page as long as you're doing the right things. So I'm going to show you what those right things are. So first of all, once you've decided that you want to show up for a specific word, so in this case I'm taking that top one, carpet cleaners Detroit, and you want to take a look at what shows up when you search that on Google. First is the ads, and I'm not going to cover those ads right now, but if you want more information on those, I'd be happy to provide that. But my agency's specialty is getting our sorry, I'm getting distracted by messages coming in. Our agency's specialty is getting people up into the map pack here and then also into the organic results down here. So, because ads, kind of like anybody can do that. So here we have the map pack or the maps section. Okay. And what you do to get up into this area, this is the part that you don't need a website for. As you can see, these ones here, you can see they have websites, these top two, but this one here doesn't have a website. And they're not showing up below the other ones because they don't have a site. That's not actually a very big factor, if it's a factor at all, in showing up in this. What is a factor is that your Google My Business is set up correctly. Specifically, you want to make sure that your name, address, and phone number are spelled right, because then you're going to take that information and put it into different directories like Yelp, Yext, City Star, White Pages, etc. And each time you do, that's going to act as a vote of confidence, pushing your result closer to the top. And if you end up in the top 3, you're shown on this page, which is going to increase the amount of calls that you get by quite a bit. And then down here, this area is where you do need a website in order to show up there. This first link will get the most clicks out of all of the areas that you, sorry, dang it, that message, I need to turn my messages off or something. It's really, it's really a problem. Okay, so this first link will get more clicks than any of the other links on this page, but because it's Yelp, I'm not going to compare you to them. It's a little apples and oranges, you know. So down here, StanleySteamer.com, this is your first local competitor. When I say local competitor, of course, this is a national brand, but the local competitor would actually be the franchise that this page represents. So this is the page that's sitting there near the top of Google. So since we would like to sit there, what we want to do is take a look at what they have going on their page and what is making it so that they sit at the top, and what can we also do so that we sit there at the top as well. So the first thing is content. They have lots of words on their page. Really, that's the main thing going on here, is they have a ton of information about what they do, where they do it, how they do it, and that's helping them show up there. So you're going to want to go through and make sure that you have more content on your page than they have on theirs when you set up your website. And then you also want to make sure, this is something that they didn't quite do as far as I can tell, you want to make sure to include these words on this page, or these ones that are getting searched, into your content itself. So exactly word for word. So an example might be, you could put, "We have the best carpet cleaners Detroit has to offer." Uh, it's make it feel natural coming. It can be a little bit of a challenge, but you can put that into your content, and that'll be a strong signal to Google that when somebody types that into Google, that you should come up because you have that exact phrase in your website 2, 3, 4 times. And then there's another thing you can actually do as well. Let's see. So they don't really have any images on this page, but if I go over, maybe over here, let's see. Here's an image. So if I right click on an image and I click Save Image As, I can see this image was saved as gift certificate. So, I mean, that's fine. That's talking about what's in the image. Okay, but what would be better, and what I would suggest that you do when you upload your images onto your site, if you decide to create one, is that you save them as those phrases that we went over, because that's going to be another indicator that you ought to show up when someone searches. And then finally, I just want to show you this page here. This is that same tool that I was using for the keywords, but this one, this function of it tells me how a website's performing. So the UR is how trusted this page is. So it's going to be this location page for Warren. And the DR score is how trusted their entire website is. We don't have to beat them here, but we do have to beat them here probably. Sometimes you could have a little bit of a lower score here, but still show up at the top, depending on, some other factors like your content and your images and all that. It's kind of a mixture of those, but it's a good idea to try to get yourself ahead of them there. So how do you do that? Well, that's with referring domains. So a referring domain is just simply a website that has a link on it to your site. We can actually take a look at what sites they have. So for instance, topratedlocal.com, that's a directory site, and so it would probably count as a citation because it probably has their name, address, and phone number listed on this page wherever they're listed. But I lost my train of thought. My goodness, what's up with me today? So this page here, or this website, has a DR score of 80. And that DR score is the same as on the other one, where it's the trustworthiness or power of that site. So this high score is going to pull them up the results, whereas low scoring websites pointing to their site is actually going to be dragging them down, or at least making these higher ones not quite as effective. So when you go after websites to see if they'll put a link on their site back to your site, you want to make sure that you're going after sites with high DR scores like this and not so many with the low scores. Now, a few low scores here and there is not going to hurt you too much, but you want to stay away from having a lot of them. Okay, I really hope that I helped you in some way, that you found this information intriguing and informative. And of course, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm happy to answer those questions. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I really would love some feedback from you on how I did, if this was helpful, and if you'll use this information going, in any way in the future. So thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful weekend.